Hello, and welcome to the Thirsty Bitches podcast, where we talk about anything under the sun, from books to entertainment to self-help, and even a little spice. I'm Victoria.
I'm Kiara.
And I'm Katalyn.
And today we're joined by Summer.
Hello.
Are we surprised? Are we surprised?
Oh, no.
Not at all.
And no one is surprised, because if you can tell by the title, we're here to talk about ACOTAR again. So this is a continuation of the series of episodes that we're doing over the SJM universe leading up to the newest Crescent City book, Flame and Shadow, which we'll obviously have an episode on once we've read it. But yeah, this is just to discuss theories and how we think that the connections completely tie to one another, because spoiler alert, if you haven't read the end of Crescent City 2, then you would know.
And honestly, we all know that Crescent City 3 is going to be a bombshell of a fucking book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because how do you leave us with that cliffhanger?
Y'all, I took PTO. I took PTO for work for CC.
I will be taking the day.
Oh, yeah. I will.
Yeah,
I will also be taking PTO if I have a job by that point.
I took a week.
Or I'll be I can't take a whole week.
As you should.
I only work 3 days a week, so.
Oh, true.
Summer's a whole ass nurse. She out there with the babies.
Well, she's not just a nurse; she's a NICU nurse, which is a whole other breed of nurses.
Mm-hmm. She does the damn thing. If y'all didn't know, Summer is a goddamn hero all the time with the babies.
A badass.
It may not sound like it half the time when she's on here, because she sounds like she's a whack job with the theories she has, but she's a goddamn hero.
Do you know what is so great about working with babies? They get my jokes. They always land. And also, they can't talk back to me. And they're so cute. And so we just vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I love this for you.
You're the talking back for
Me too. As soon as you can talk, I'm out.
Anyway.
Well, before we get into it, we're going to do our quenchable moments. And if you're new here, a quenchable moment is something happy or exciting that's happened to us over the last week or so that we want to share with each other and with you. Honestly, if you're listening to this episode, you shouldn't be new here. You should be pretty deep into it at this point. So to start us off, as always, our guest, Summer, what is your quenchable moment?
My quenchable moment this past week was we started our new D&D campaign, which we were all very excited about. So we finished our last one like a month and a half ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And Hayden, our DM, has completely like homebrewed the entire campaign. We made our own map. We rolled for it with dice. But okay, rewind. We poured beans out on a poster board and traced the edges.
Yes.
And then we rolled dice for like forests and bodies of water and points of interest. And then so we made 4 of them, and then we voted on our favorite one. And then Hayden filled in the map. We made our own map. He made an entire new god system and has like created an entire campaign, all the cities, all the NPCs, and it's like honestly kind of insane. So
you're saying Hayden is like top tier DM.
Yeah, what the hell, right? He needs to like write a fantasy book, because he literally just built an entire world in his brain.
I kid you guys not. I've never once in my life had the urge to play D&D until I met Summer.
Truly, like, he makes it incredible. We've told him before that if we were just random people out in the world, we would watch a stream of us playing, because he's so good with the voices and like the world building. He's just awesome. Mm-hmm. So we started a new campaign on last Sunday, and we're gonna play again today. So that's my quenchable moment.
Nice.
It was so fun.
I love that. I'm happy for you. I love that you guys started a new campaign. Your character, she looks great.
Yeah. Her name is Asha Mistweaver, and she is a water genasi druid. And I made a city for her, and it's like a jungle tree city. It was very Pandora inspired, like Avatar. Mm-hmm. It's a magical jungle tree city with waterfalls.
Now, Mistweaver.
Mm-hmm. What?
Summer, I feel like the last couple characters that you've made, they've had some form of SJM in them.
What is that? Whose name is Mistweaver in SJM? Because I feel like I just pulled that from the depths of my.
I feel like
thinking the Weaver.
Oh,
I feel like people have said like somewhere like within like Reese's like timeline that's been like used. I don't know.
There's
Very SJM
this word.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, I didn't think, but her name is Asha, and initially I was thinking
love that.
Farasha, as in the horse.
Mm.
But then I ended up just liking Asha better. But that was the
I
inspiration.
love it. It's great. I'm so happy for you. I'm excited for you. I can't
Thank
wait
you.
to hear about. I can't wait to hear about this this new session you guys have going.
It's gonna be great. Also, he's 3D printed all of our maps, all of our
Jesus
terrain that we're playing on,
Christ.
and painted it.
Oh,
Yeah, he got a
Damn.
3D printer, and it's
No.
yeah.
Summer was visiting. When she was visiting, she was showing me. She was having Hayden take pictures of things that he has made and sending
He has
it
a whole
to
display
us.
case.
I showed it to my mom, and she was like, "What the fuck?"
This is real nerd shit right here.
The nerdiest.
It was
the
great.
nerds.
It was great. Well, I'm excited for you. I cannot wait to hear
Thanks.
about it.
It's gonna be great.
Katalyn, what was your quenchable moment this week?
My quenchable moment is that I did something yesterday. I chopped all my hair off.
Hair reveal. Oh hell yeah! Oh, it's so cute.
Oh my god!
Thanks.
So
Wow,
cute.
that
You
was
haven't.
so main character.
Thanks.
What?
I hadn't cut my hair since we went
Joke's
to New York
on you. I'm
City,
also taking
and-
my
yeah.
clip out.
I haven't cut my
No
hair
haircut.
since we went to New York City in 2021. So
Yeah,
We
it's been a
literally,
while.
It looks
I think
so
we-
cute.
we had
Thank you.
just made a comment about it. I think in the last recordings that we did, we just talked about how your hair was.
Oh, I've had this planned
so
for like
off.
3 weeks.
How do you feel?
Good. It feels
looks
kind of
so
weird still.
cute and
And I cut all
fresh.
the bleach out.
Yeah,
So-
you chopped all the
yeah.
color out.
Yep.
When did you
Oh,
do
I
it?
love it. It suits you.
What?
When did you
It
do
suits
it?
you.
Oh, I cut it yesterday morning.
It does suit
One at a
you.
time.
Summer
One
is
at a
correct.
time.
Yeah, yesterday morning. So
Hey, listen, Summer and I sometimes share one brain cell, so sometimes it just it gets
Just
caught
goes
between
back and
the two.
forth like a fucking tennis
if
match.
any of you were on my B-reel, you would have seen it last night when I was.
I don't
I
have
don't
B-roll.
have-
Dude, I haven't heard "Be Real" in God 6 months plus.
I
People
do
still
not
use
have
"Be
it.
Real."
Yeah.
I never
Yeah,
really
oh,
got
yeah.
into it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
they say. Oh God, what? That's so boomer of me.
Anyways, yeah, I chopped my hair.
It looks great. It's so
Thanks.
cute. I
does
love
love it again.
it. I love it. Victoria, what was your quenchable moment?
So I had to go back to IKEA to return some blinds for my sister's room. They were literally a millimeter too big. Like there was no finagling it in there because
That's so annoying.
my house is
How
old.
is that a quenchable moment if you had to go return something to fucking
Listen, there's a process to it. Okay, let me get there. Like, damn.
No.
Okay, never mind. My
No, I'm
quenchable
kidding.
moment-
just like
But
I'm like,
my house is old. The trim around the windows is solid wood. There's no getting into it. There's no like doing anything to them. So we had to go back. And of course, when you're IKEA, you don't just like return stuff and leave. Like that's stupid. Anyways, we like sprinted through the showroom, which I've never done before because my mom and my sister are literally the worst people to shop with. They like want to go and be done, and I'm like, can you calm down?
No, can we just dilly dally for a fucking second,
I
please?
Yes.
Emily and I, we walked through the showroom twice one time.
I like to take my time because I like to
Yeah.
see if anything's changed, what's new, like all that stuff. So, of course, when I go, I like to hit the as is section. If you guys don't remember, a while ago, the last time I was there, I got this desktop from IKEA and I tweaked it and made it
Yes.
a concrete desktop for my work stuff. And I have had it in my mind that I need an over bed tabletop. And I have the wood for it, but I would have to jigsaw it together to get it to work. But then when I was in the as is section, I found one of those really big black like wall mounted floating shelves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna use that and make a little overbed desktop.
Nice.
So it'll go over the length of my entire bed. And I only spent $20 on it.
I'm trying to picture it in
Visualize.
my mind and I can't. This is the
It's
same issue
essentially
that
just-
I was this is the same issue I was having, was it yesterday when you were trying to explain the post that we're going to make for the Thursday episode? And I'm like,
Yeah. So
I don't know
it's
what you're
essentially
talking about. Just make
It's
it.
essentially just a giant It's like a console table that can fit over top of your bed.
Okay, you're just gonna send me a
Wow.
picture. Just send me a picture.
I'll send
when
you
you
a picture.
when you have.
Okay, so when it's not over your bed, where's it going to be?
It'll stay over my bed.
Oh, you just always will have a table over your bed?
Yeah, except for when I'm sleeping. When I'm sleeping, I can push it up against the wall.
Well, that's very
Opposite
Grandpa
my
Joe
bed.
of you.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I want to be able to work in my bed and have both of my monitors. That's the whole driving
I
factor.
love that for you, honestly. Wow.
Victoria's like, if I could do everything from my bed, that is the goal.
I would.
Fucking mood.
I would. That's the driving force behind it. So yeah, that was my quenchable moment, is making crafts, because I like to make things and I'm fairly decent at it. So, anyways, Kiara, what was your quenchable moment this week? You have a job. Saying it for you. You have a job. You have secrets written on your thing, and I
secrets.
the feeling that
So
you have
I
a job.
did this because Summer was here, and Summer was the only other person outside Mom and Emily who knew about this. So I did sign an offer letter yesterday.
Yay!
Woo!
I think
The way that you said that just now, Victoria, I thought you knew.
No,
I was
because I know
I
how
was
she
like,
pulled
God,
this
way to
before
steal
on
our
us.
thunder, bitch.
She
No, I
fucking
was
did
like,
this
there-
to us last time.
Oh, and I also did this too.
Yeah, and Katalyn did it too. So now, what these two hoes don't realize is we're gonna have a full circle moment. I'm gonna hit them with one that's real hard, and they're gonna be really upset.
So the only reason that Summer knew is because she was with me when I got the initial email asking for her first interview. And God knows I'm at brunch with Mom and Summer. I can't just be like talking with Mom in like secret. And Summer's just like,
Yeah,
what's happening?
no, that's fair.
So she had to be on the ins. And she was
yeah.
like, you better tell me everything. And I'm like,
I
"Fine,
held
you
a
can't
gun
tell
to her head
anyone."
and I said, you better keep me in the loop, bitch.
And I'm like, you can't tell anyone else anything. So the process lasted a week and a half. So I had my first interview a week and a half ago on a Wednesday. I had my 2nd interview this past Thursday. And about an hour after I got off the interview, they offered me the job.
Nice.
I don't start until October 9th because the
That's
training
okay.
period was either September 11th or October 9th. And it's a 2-week training period, so I can't do it because I have a wedding within that 2-week training period. So I don't start until October. You guys are going to hate me. It is a Tuesday to Saturday shift, so we cannot record on Saturdays.
Well, I think we had
We've
already
been doing mostly Sundays anyways.
decided
I know.
Sundays,
I went
Tuesdays.
through and I looked at the schedule for the rest of this year. There are 2 Saturdays that we have recordings, so we just need to go and shift those.
We'll
but
figure it out.
Yeah.
I have a job. I am a GSOC operator. I will be working as an embedded employee at Amazon with Emily.
Oh, nice.
Not the same company, and we're going to be on 2 different floors, but we're going to be in the same building, so we can get.
So you guys can
do you have
carpool?
to? Are you coming out my way to do your training?
No.
Sad.
My company is based originally out of London, and they have an office in New York, but all my training is going to happen, at least for this position, in office here. But if I need to go to the Arlington location, I'm sure they'll probably fly me out there. We're going to see. I don't know what my hours are, Summer, so I don't know if we can carpool or not yet. That is like the goal, to carpool at least a couple days a week. And in my initial interview, they told me that right now their employees are doing 4 days on site, 1 day work from home. And so I'm really hoping that stays a thing, and then I can work from home on Saturdays.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
That'd be
So
nice.
in office Tuesday to Friday, work from home Saturday. The options
Yeah.
were Sunday to Thursday or Tuesday to Saturday shifts. And I'm like, yeah, I'd rather have a Monday off than a Friday off. So bet. I'm like, it's going to be, in my opinion, I think Saturdays will be slower too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather not deal with the Monday crazies.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Love this for you.
That's exciting.
I'll be making at least $1 more an hour at this job than I was at Civic too.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Hell
good.
yes.
So, and it's perfect timing. My training literally ends on a Friday, October 20th. So I'm gonna hop on a plane. I'm gonna go and celebrate with Katalyn in Vegas when we were young that weekend.
Yay!
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Oh my god,
so-
we can go. Yep. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so much fun.
And you're gonna buy all the fucking merch you want because a bitch is employed.
The bitch is employed. She's employed. It's like a weight off my shoulders.
I mean, like you've been saying for the last, it's like you've been saying for the last week, your magic is back. So
no, I literally told.
surprise.
I kid you not. When I picked Summer up from the airport, I was like, I'm seeing so many fucking repetitive
She was telling me all of the good things that had happened to her in the last like week, and I was like, what the hell?
And
if
then
this isn't
the next
like energy from the universe, I don't know what it is.
And the very next day was when I got that first email.
Nice.
Wild.
Proud of you.
And we had a great day at Disneyland too. So
the best day I've ever had at Disney.
And that was like, again, I told you, Victoria, like we went to Disneyland in February. All that shit happened, and then we did Disneyland again at the end. And I'm just like, we're good. We're good. Everything's Gucci.
Love that.
Yay.
So as you guys know, I've been on a health journey, and with that, I've been looking for tools and products to help me get my health back in check. One of the things I've really been focusing on is staying hydrated, and a product that's really helped me with that is Liquid IV. In just one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than with water alone. It's also come in super clutch when I'm out and about, and I realize I haven't hydrated well enough. Plus, it's super convenient to keep in my bag or in my car in case of an emergency. Right now, you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code STAYTHIRSTY at checkout. That's 20% off of anything you order when you shop for better hydration today using promo code STAYTHIRSTY at liquidiv.com. Stay thirsty, bitches.
Anyways, on to other fun and exciting things. Summer talking about A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Oh, it's good to be home.
So this will be laid out like the other ones have been. Summer has a whirlwind of notes, and we'll just riff off of that because that's the easiest, and that's going to be the most efficient and the most organized. I can't promise that the riffs off of her notes will be organized, but there'll be something. So, anyways.
You're taking the lead, Summer. You're in charge. You're the captain.
Oh God,
you're the captain of this ship. You're the captain.
Look at me. I'm the captain now. You've made the same mistake again and again. Okay. So, last time we finished, I said I really wanted to do like a deep dive on the Illyrians, and I've got a lot of notes on the Illyrians here, and we're going to get into that. But there's a couple things that I would like to touch on first that I have seen on the book internet since the last time we spoke.
On the book internet.
So, okay, I found my new favorite theory account. You guys, I'm sure, have seen stuff from her, but it's at Emily's Theories. Y'all, this girl is a fucking genius. I'm so serious. She's my new favorite theory account. So she makes theories in like slideshow format, and she'll say like this wild theory, and you're like, yeah, fucking okay, Emily. And by the end of it, you're like, okay, Emily, what the fuck? I fully buy into this. There's not one single batshit theory she hasn't sold me on, because she brings the fucking citations with her. Okay, it's bonkers.
Love a good citation.
So the first one, last time we were talking about what the fucking fuck is Starfall, and she posted this theory about how, so in Crescent City they have the autumnal equinox, right, where the veil is thinnest between the worlds. So she was like, my theory is that Prythian and Crescent City sort of mirror each other in that the veil is thinnest on the autumn equinox in Crescent City, but it's thinnest on the spring equinox in ACOTAR. And what happens on the spring equinox? Fucking Starfall.
What if the autumnal equinox is the spring equinox? Like,
that's what she's saying. Because it's like a day in Crescent City. It's like the Day of the Dead, like Halloween, like Samhain type situation. And it's like the veil is thinnest, and you can like communicate with like fucking dead people. So her theory is that they're like the same. And in Prythian, so we think that it's probably second light, right? The stars that are falling in the starfall. She's like, what if these stars are constantly, it's always happening. The migration is constant 24/7. We just can see it on the spring equinox because the veil is the thinnest.
I'm literally getting chills.
Same. A bitch is goosed. Like, what the fuck, right? Thoughts.
I'm gonna make that into a t-shirt.
I actually, this is a slight tangent. I think I did see one of their TikToks because it was talking, I think I saw it last night, and it was talking about how Az takes Bryce to the townhouse. We all know this. But Bryce landed on the big house's lawn. So he took her from the big house to the townhouse. But at the end of Akasif, the townhouse is empty. Nobody's living there. Everyone has moved out. It is completely barren. But when Az took her there, someone was living there. Like, it was homely. It was being used. So in that time frame between the end of Akasif to the end of Crescent City 2, someone has moved into the townhouse. And we don't know who.
I feel like Reese would just maintain that
Yeah.
house too, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It would
that's
always be homey.
Yeah.
Technically, like, no one really lived in the House of Wind all that often either. And it was still...
I want to believe that
Who do you
someone
think lives there?
Well, I mean, I'm sure Nuala and
Elaine?
Caradwin are in there pretty regularly anyway.
I would assume something happened with Elaine or Az within that time period. And now one of them lives there. I mean, Az doesn't want to live in the House of Wind with Cassian and Nessa for the rest of his life? They live there. They live in the House of Wind. And he's like, fuck that.
My money's on finding out that Az has a secret apartment.
Probably.
Az has a bird's nest somewhere. I don't know.
A bird's nest.
A tree house.
Bitch, I'm a bird.
He's got a secret tree house.
But that's a really great theory, Summer.
Isn't that interesting? Oh my god.
My mind is blown. I think I saw something where someone was talking about... it's something I forgot that they had talked about in the book itself, but they say that, like, these souls kind of follow each other and, like, they stick together, like waiting for their partner or something. So I'm wondering how that would play into this theory. Yeah. I'm pretty sure when Reese is explaining it, he says that there's souls, like, waiting for each other. And someone said something like, oh, Feyre and Reese, like, they've always been in Starfall and they've always waited for each other in every life. And I'm like, I cry.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
it's so interesting.
I thought that theory was so cool, and I am fully buying in.
Starfall has always been so intriguing.
Or, always. I mean, I guess it could just be the one day of the year that the souls get shunted through the gate, but, like,
I don't know.
I think the Bone King, the Under King, is constantly, like, sending souls through the gate, right?
No, I'm pretty sure at some point he said specifically that this is not a regular occurrence, but it was heavily implied that this is something that happens often.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of plausibility behind,
like, I don't
the veil being the thinnest and just being able to see it at that time. Because, I mean, there's, no matter what SJM series it is, there's always a very heavy implication that this shift in seasons, whatever that major holiday is surrounding it, the Celtic, Wicca, whatever, is always magical in some sense. So
maybe it's that kind of thing where it's like, as the seasons change, or like there are multiple points in the year where this set thing happens. Like, he just, puts some souls on layaway for the autumnal equinox.
Maybe. There's a lot of ways that you could swing that one.
Anyways.
Oh my gosh. Souls on layaway. That's going to stick with me all day.
Okay, so my next theory. Okay. As we all know, Daglin, Princess of Hell, Asteri. We have all been confused about this for the longest.
How do they link up? How are they the same? How are they different? What is happening?
For the most part, I think the fandom has agreed, and we talked about this last time, that Asteri and Daglin are the same being, right? Reverse. I don't think that anymore.
Oh, okay.
So Emily's Theories posted this theory, and it says, the Princes of Hell are the true villains of the SJM universe. They are the Vogue, a theory. I said, what? So I watched the whole 34-slide theory, and I'm here to tell you, I think she's fucking right. So I'm gonna scroll through this. I'm gonna hit the highlights for you. Okay. So in Crescent City, we're led to believe that Adis, Apollyon, and the other Princes of Hell are misunderstood good guys. But I think that's a lie, and that history has been severely twisted. So Rigela states that Queen Thea, the first Starborn queen, trusted a prince of hell, and this was her downfall. And then the wolf mystic discloses that as punishment, she's sent to hell where demons and princes taunt her. Quote, he lets the demons and their princes taunt her, terrify her. Not very savior-like of them. Honestly, T. Let's not forget that princes of hell are the top of the food chain because they kicked the Asteri out of their world, and Apollyon even devoured one of the Asteri. And they have influence and connections all over Midgard. They want to enter Midgard again, but what are their true motives? Thanatos reveals their true motives. He says, when the gates open once more, he will feed on the souls and power of the Vanir and the Asteri. Quote, I shall taste all of you like this, you and your masters, starting with you, Starborn. Is it, then, any coincidence that the Bone Quarter, where the souls are harvested into Second Light, is overseen by Apollyon, Prince of the Pit? Most importantly, Thanatos says he once used to devour Second Light like fine wine. We hear a direct parallel of that quote. In Silver Flames, they said the Daglin drank the magic of the land like wine. I remember highlighting that. I was like, ooh.
And everyone thought that okay, because I know that line where they talk about in ACOTAR and ACOSF.
Mm-hmm. We all said
people
Asteri,
have been
right?
Everyone thought Asteri,
Mm-hmm.
but that makes sense.
SJM has led us to believe to think that the Daglin are the Asteri, but I don't think that's correct. So she says, I theorize that the Daglin are the princes of hell, and the princes of hell are also Volg. So the Volg of the Throne of Glass world are demons. The princes of hell are demons. Both live in worlds that are cold and dark. Both feed on power. Both take on different forms and create beasts and other evil creatures. But the real clue, and this is what truly fucking confused the shit out of me when I read Silver Flames, is Lanthus. So Lanthus is the only confirmed member of the Daglin. And I remember trying to reconcile this in my brain. Like, okay, if the Daglin are the Asteri, but Lanthus is a Daglin, why the fuck does he look like a Volg prince? Because he's got black blood, a trademark of the Volg. And I guess, I don't know if we know what color the Asteri bleed. I think I've looked, and I couldn't find anything. Mm-mm. But Lanthus's true form is blonde hair, black eyes, which is identical to both a Volg prince and a prince of hell, Apollyon. Lanthus feared Nesta's death sword. The Reapers feared Bryce's death sword. The Reapers bled black blood, and the Reapers originated from hell. We're connecting the strings here, okay? Mm-hmm. So if the princes of hell are Volg, let's not forget that Erewhon's two older brothers are still alive. Erewhon's oldest brother, Orcus, is said to be the most powerful Volg king of all time. And another name for Orcus is Apollyon.
What?
In mythology, Orcus is depicted as a batwing god. When Apollyon appears to hunt, he has leather bat wings. So she says, Orcus equals Apollyon equals most powerful Volg leader. And if the Volg princes of hell are the Daglin, then they must have been in Prythian. When Rhys first describes the Daglin, it word for word matches the description of the Volg in Irene's book. You remember that book she found in the library in Tower of Dawn? She describes the three kings with crowns standing on the cliff. And they have like golden hair.
The Tower of Dawn, the library in Tower of Dawn had me fucking tripping every time that she talked about it. I was like, there's too much happening here. The same thing happened when I read Crescent City 1, and she was like, all the books in the Jessicas, and I'm like, it's the libraries. All the libraries are connected. All the libraries are fucking connected.
The Volg that are standing on the mountain in Irene's book, they're standing atop a mountain with an archway of black stone. Which sounds a lot like fucking Ramiel. So could the 3 stars atop Ramiel represent the 3 Volg brothers?
I just got chills again.
Yeah. Oh my god. So she says, in Throne of Glass, Erewhon mentions that Irene's power was also present in his homeworld. And Irene's power is described as starlight. It can make and unmake life, and it can heal worlds. Just like Bryce, we witness her heal Lunathian city center with her power. Crumbling buildings were instantly restored. So Irene is Starborn. The Starborn power originated in Prythian. Erewhon said the Starborn were in his homeworld. So she says Erewhon's world is Prythian. Now, when we talk about where the Volg originated from, we talked about this a little bit last time too. But their homeworld, that they waged a war for 1,000 years, she says, I theorize the history we've been told so far is a lie, that the Asteri first found Prythian, ruled there for 1,000 years, and they were not the Daglin. They created the Fae and lived in civilization. According to Vogue history, they found a world, waged a war for 1,000 years, and conquered it. They turned that world into one that was cold and dark. I believe that was Prythian. The Vogue princes left hell through the gates and overthrew the Asteri. So that suggests Phaon, the first High King of Prythian, was actually Orcus, was actually Apollyon. A mere Fey warrior is not capable of overthrowing the Asteri, but the Star Eater is. And then during this time, the Vogue princes Daglin either created or stole and used the Dread Trove, because Erewhon was called the Dread Lord, and then there are Dread Wolves in Crescent City that are said to be demons, and Lanthus, who bled black blood, God, say that 5 times fast, bled black blood, showed Nesta a vision of them using the Dread Trove. So we know that the Daglin are familiar with the Dread Trove, and I'm pretty fucking convinced that Lanthus is Vogue. I said that from the first time I fucking saw that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then, what's more, Amryn was thrown into the prison during this time, and she was a being of light and fire, the two things the Vogue hate the most. And she was an angel, enemies of demons. I don't know. I think it's... This theory goes on and on and on.
Can you send that to me, please?
Absolutely.
Send it to me too, but there's a lot like going through my head right now. Specifically, I am still stuck on something you said earlier, and it's about the Asteri member that got taken to hell or whatever. What was her name?
Sirius.
The one that was eaten by the Star Eater?
Yeah, it's Sirius, the Wolf Star.
Oh, are you talking about the Mystic? That was like forced to... What are you talking about?
Yeah,
because
that one.
Sirius is the Asteri that was eaten by Apollyon.
All I can
and
think
then there's
about
the
now...
Mystic at the end of the last Crescent City book, or not at the end, but the Mystic that Bryce sees, who dives into whatever world she's trying to get to, like astral projection. That's the Mystic. That's the wolf.
And she's being tortured by the princes of hell down there.
Yeah.
Something I'm just like trying to figure. I don't know.
And also,
I'm thinking of Maeve.
The princes, they're powerful in and of themselves, but the Asteri have to have a power source, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I could see how the Vogue could be more powerful than the Asteri.
Mm-hmm. But I keep thinking of Maeve in this instance. I'm pulling.
Maeve is an outlier in most situations.
Yeah, but I think. But the thing is, I think SJM wants us to think she's an outlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she probably plays into this Vogue theory a lot more than a lot of people are giving her credit for. And so now I'm curious to see where she fits into all of this. If this new theory is closer to the truth of what we know, like, where does she fit into this? Because she was married to one of them and she lived with them and everything. So where does she, like, who is she? Where is she actually from? Summer Scott.
Okay, so I'm like chomping at the bit. So if Prythian was this world that they waged a war for 1,000 years to win, and he was married to Maeve, and so if Maeve was in Prythian, then that would connect that Rhys is related to Maeve
to her because of the eyes.
Mm-hmm. Well, and lots of the Daemati powers,
there's
lots of.
I'm wondering if there's some kind of ritual to turn somebody into a Vogue beyond like the black ring or the black collar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then also, so obviously we know that there's like a lot of connecting pieces between Maeve and Rhys. That's something that everyone has always mentioned. But now we have Rune with the eyes and Cormac with his winnowing powers.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's more than just the eyes with Rune. Rune is a fucking carbon copy of Rhys.
Literally carbon copy. He is a literal carbon copy, but like everyone immediately first noticed like when she described his eyes. We're just like, wait. So we have these pieces that are happening now in Midgard, and you're just like, okay, so where does this? That's like one of the things that has always like flipped me on my head is Maeve to Rhys to Rune, like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what is this connecting thing? And I like that idea, Summer, that Maeve was originally in Prythian because it would help a lot in connecting those things. But then how does it connect to Midgard?
Well, I mean, Maeve is also a world walker. So Honestly, Maeve could be from anywhere.
I wonder.
That's why I was wondering if there was any other way to
something that-
turn somebody into a Vogue.
This is something that I have been thinking about constantly. I've never said it out loud. Constantly thinking about this since I think I read Throne of Glass for the first time.
Mhm.
And we learned about Maeve as a world walker, and I'd already read ACOTAR, and I'm like, who else is a world walker? Who else? And I think it has to connect to the winnowing powers. Like, who else can do it? Do they not know that they can do it? How does this work? And is it going to play into Crescent City 3? Because Bryce is going to see all of these people winnow, and she's going to be like, what? Cormac just did that, and now you're doing it? And so I've always thought that world walking was connected to winnowing in a way. Like, and Maeve just like has had longer to cultivate that power in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. I have been thinking about that constantly.
I mean,
always on my head, at least once a week.
It could be similar mechanics, and she's utilizing something to amp that ability up to
Especially
be able to go
if
from,
she's
instead of one end of the earth to the other, she can go from one universe to the other.
Especially since if what Summer just said, that she was in Prythian and she had these powers from Prythian. Like, do they originate from this world? And she has brought them over because she has lived for thousands of years at this point, and she knows how to use her powers like that.
I also had like this really gross thought. So we remember Katalyn. I know we're getting back into.
I literally just I just saw an edit of her. Someone did like a voiceover and like I saw one of her, and the same person did another one of the 13 at the end of.
I saw the one of the 13.
Oh my god, that one wrecked me. But the one of Katalyn, and it was like reading through that like last passage, and it was like the artwork for her. I was crying. Katalyn deserved better.
Okay.
She deserved better.
I know this is going back to Throne of Glass a little bit, but Katalyn. So we remember the stone being sewn into her body, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What if? So let's say Maeve is from Prythian. What if she is an ancestor of Rhys who had a piece of the black stone sewn into her body somewhere that we can't see, because Maeve is generally pretty covered up and she's never got any jewelry on. What if Maeve is actually possessed this whole time?
What?
Could be. She could have just like fallen into her just like possession at that point.
What and to make it further, what if she's actually serious? It's been possessed this whole time.
The look on your guys' faces.
That's why I was like, where does Maeve come from? Why I feel like it's connected to this Asteri that went missing?
Because the other thing is too, is the Asteri, those are not their bodies.
No.
Right.
So it's the same thing as the Vogue.
I mean, the Vogue can have their own bodies, but
doesn't Maeve have black blood?
She does, but
yes.
I'm pretty sure that when the Vogue possess human bodies, they also have black blood.
Yes. So the way it worked was, from my understanding, like, take Dorian for example. Like, when they put the collar on, they put the ring on, they do whatever, they are going into that person's body, and then it turns into a takeover situation, like the prince that Rowan and Aelin defeated in Heir of Fire. So that was a real person that the prince just like went into. Black blood near the end was completely taken over, but it was that human person's body. Like, they had taken over in Dorian. So like they take over and they completely, I think at one point even Katalyn her blood started getting really dark. I think they described it.
Because I know that they were trying to make sure that they could find bodies that were more susceptible to being possessed.
They had to be magical
why
bodies.
not then possess the body of somebody that had already been possessed by an Asteri?
And they have to be magical bodies that can take in magic. Because even Katalyn, when you talk,
that's my crack theory.
that very last scene with Katalyn, she remembers having magical golden fire power before magic got cut off. And so you have to have magic in your system to be able to hold a Valg. So it would make sense that an Asteri could be a Valg because they also take in magic from the land.
Because there was discussions going on ages ago, like, do we know if Apollyon actually consumed Sirius? That's just what we were told.
And the reason that Bryce went to Prythian is because Prythian was the original battleground, maybe. And she has to go to the prison.
She just needs help.
Because she needs that information from that Daglin.
But yeah, that's my crack theory. Is Maeve is actually
Summer. I can see.
Oh my god, possessionception.
I can see the wheels turning in Summer's head. The gears are just. She's just like,
yeah. I'm thinking thoughts.
Thoughts are happening.
So I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to add an extra episode to this lineup for ACOTAR because this one got really deep.
It got deep and sweaty. I'm sweating. I don't know about y'all.
Summer's so excited.
Anyways, so I'm now team Daglin or Valg, not Asteri.
I like that one because
I think the facts are there. Maybe some of the semantics are not correct, but I think that's.
I have never felt completely confident in the Asteri to Valg pipeline theory,
right? Because it was Lanthus that was throwing me off. Knowing that Lanthus is a Daglin, I'm like, he doesn't look like a fucking Asteri. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't feel right. Like obviously the Asteri are like bad.
There was a piece missing.
We know that they are not good. They are just a different level of not good from the Valg / Daglin /
And also there was the whole element of like, how did the Asteri get to control Wordstone? If we think the Cauldron is Wordstone, and we think like there's lots of Wordstone elements in Prythian, and we thought the Asteri ruled Prythian, like where did they connect to Wordstone? But we know that the Valg have I'll just knock my water over. We know that the Valg have a solid connection. They know how to use Wordstone. They know how to use word gates. They know how to use the word itself. So that would track more with like the creation / taking over of the Cauldron and the Book of Breathings and the Dread Trove, and just it all matches up better in my mind.
I personally think that the Book of Breathing is in Wordstone. Like I think that's the writing that it's in.
Wait, what? In word? In word marks?
Yeah, like I think it's in word marks. That's I'm like, that's the only thing that makes sense. Everyone's like, oh, it's a really old like
it's in the Holy Tongue.
Yeah, like it's in the Holy Tongue and everything. But what's to say that word marks aren't the Holy Tongue? There's
allow me. This feels
we talked about this last episode that they were.
I don't know. I just feel there's
languages.
Certain things
I could do a whole episode on the languages because what the fuck? There's so many of them, and I know that some of them are the same. And I just need you to draw me a map, please. Also,
like I'm curious. This is just a tangent. The only people who can understand Bryce at this point in time is Reese and Amryn. And I'm just like, that can get so annoying so quickly. Like, is someone going to start teaching at least someone else how to talk a certain way? Because
I would bet if we see any of the older Fae, I would bet that the Autumn King can probably speak Old Fae, and then Helion can probably speak Old Fae. I would say that anybody is like
Bryce and Helion to have a
conversation.
I need Bryce and Helion to have a conversation.
Oh, they're gonna vibe so hard.
For one, just because, like, yes, vibe so hard, but also Bryce, no filter. She go look at Lucian, she go look at Helion, she'll be like, "You his daddy."
Well, I know this is again another complete tangent, but I get this distinct feeling that we're going to end up seeing a lot of Helion because there's no way that they're not going to try and go in today and get into the libraries and figure out what
And she already was sort of weaving more Helion in with the Pegasus, all that. Like he's when she finds out he's got a Pegasus, she's gonna shit a brick.
Oh my god, she's gonna be like, "Jubilee."
I feel like Bryce might actually. Doesn't she already learn languages though in Crescent City?
Yeah.
So I'm sure she'll learn the language.
That's something that
she'll pick it up.
Interested in.
Yeah.
I kid you not, Katalyn I know
very
that you
convenient.
probably feel the same way as me. Just just libraries in general. Us with libraries, like historically. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
But like you think of these libraries and all of these universes, and you're just like, what if the libraries are gateways? Like, how are these books ending up in these different
Oh,
worlds
I saw
when
another
like,
crack
there's
theory
portals in the libraries?
from
There
Emily's
probably is.
theories
You
talking
put
about
it
how
on a shelf and it leaves.
she thinks that the old continent in Throne of Glass, or the southern continent, Antica,
Yeah, where the
is,
tower is.
she thinks that's Parthos. So she thinks they're on the same planet. Crescent City and Throne of Glass are on
No,
the same planet.
here's
But it
so
was a,
this is
by the
here's
end
a
of it,
theory.
again, I was convinced.
I could believe it because I just saw a TikTok of someone took like a tiny little snippet from Lorcan, and he describes how he remembers this old like city that used barges to cross a river to get to each other's sides to do trade, and he wonders if that city is still there. And I'm like, and he was taught, people are like, it's Valaris, like the way that he describes it in this tiny passage that you would probably just like completely miss. The way he describes it, it sounds like,
I don't know what I think about whether the worlds are in the same world or not
and I'm
anymore.
just like,
I've been confused.
and I'm like, it could make sense because in Throne of Glass, they always talk about how like they don't know what's like past these parts of the world, and in ACOTAR, they don't know what's past these parts of the world. And I'm like, could it be that simple? Could it be that fucking
Probably.
simple?
But she's already said that they're on different planets and different worlds. And they're like,
True.
I will never believe a goddamn thing that ever comes out of that woman's mouth again until I
think
see
she's
it
a
on
liar?
paper.
Yeah, I do.
She literally said, she's like, that little snippet at the end of Kingdom of Ash where aliens falling, that's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. Liar. You liar. You dirty liar.
You dirty liar.
I will never believe a goddamn thing that ever comes out of her mouth ever again until I see it on paper. SJM.
Yeah,
I love
we
you
didn't
so
think
much.
she was gonna do what she did, and she fucking did it. So honestly, whatever. I expect the
if
unexpected at this
y'all
point.
feel betrayed, I've been with this bitch for a decade.
Yeah.
I think I feel. I don't want to hear nothing.
Absolutely.
I personally, I don't think that they're on the same planet. I think that would be too easy. I think it would be lazy, and she's not a lazy author, from what we see.
Right.
I think if they're not, and again, this is me on my soapbox. Where's Vaughn? Where's Vaughn? Did Lorcan see this? Did Lorcan see this city because he went with Vaughn somewhere, and no one talks about Vaughn just like slipping off. Where's Vaughn?
I mean, granted, they had some pretty big things to deal with beyond where.
I swear to God, Vaughn's gonna show up, and I'm gonna come in here, and I'm gonna be like, I fucking told you, bitches. I'm gonna get a shirt that says "Where's Vaughn?" Just
That has to exist. I'm sure it exists.
I need it.
Yeah.
Or
anyways,
I mean, I have a
I'm
Prythian,
excited
so.
to read through the theory that you were talking about somewhere, because there's a lot to be.
There's a lot, and I am
on over from that. And to be fair, I will say that pre-ACOTAR, most people were on the Asteri Daglin train because there was nothing to dispute that.
right.
But there is.
Then now we have more from ACOTAR and more to pull from there. And then of course Crescent City 2 came out, and things are moving and shaking.
So, but this also, Rigelus tells us that the Illyrians were a prototype for the Malachim. So if the Daglin were Vogue and not Asteri, what would that mean for the creation of the Illyrians?
Maybe the Asteri created the Illyrians to be modeled after the Vogue as a means to fight them.
Ooh, maybe.
Maybe the solution was, if we create a being that's similar to them in shape and size and power,
they can be our warrior protectors.
Right. Because we know that, because they call their power the killing power.
Right.
My question is, where do the seraphim come in? Seraphim. I never really.
Their series that I think they created all of them. Yeah, I think they're different evolutions of.
I hope that comes
Agreed.
into play. I hope they come back into play.
Yeah.
Because
You guys noticed
I
that
think
my
it
mug
went
is also a cauldron. It has little.
Love.
nice. Because I think it went Illyrians modeled after Vogue, if this Vogue theory holds true. Modeled after Vogue to fight them off, which is potentially is why they now have the stories of Ramiel and the 3 stars and all of that. Because
They
they're
said,
like,
"Oh fuck, these
these
bitches have
are
wings,
Yeah.
and wing."
Wait!
What?
Everyone says. People have been theorizing that the 3 sisters are supposed to match with the 3 mountains. What if Elaine, Feyre, and Nesta are meant to like fight the 3 princes?
I don't
Well,
see
everyone's already
Elaine.
fucking dead, so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the ones that are left and everything. Like Nesta
why
fucking
aren't-
created a
why
drench
aren't-
robe for God's sake.
Okay, but why can't it be? Because Aelin already beat one, so it could be Elaine, Bryce, and Feyre.
Oh.
Like the 3 women against these evil. It would make sense.
You mean Aelin, Bryce, and Farrah?
Yeah, Aelin, Bryce, and Feyre.
Okay, I thought you said Elaine, Bryce, and Farrah. I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck is
no,
Elaine
I
doing
said
here?
Aelin already beat the one.
No,
so
but
Aelin,
Elaine,
and Bryce and Feyre.
I am so excited to get Elaine's book because I want to know what the fuck's happening in the head of hers.
Not a thought behind
I
those
think a
eyes.
lot of people do.
I am someone who I just had this conversation with someone. You know, you have the favorite girlies and the Reese girlies and the Nesta girlies, and like I'm over here being like, I connect with all 3 sisters. Like, I am the oldest sister, I am the middle child, and I'm the one that took care of my fucking family when shit hit the fan. So like I am all 3. And so I'm excited to see what's going on in this middle child's head because shit happens in this one, and let me tell you, it is not fun in this head. So
Anyways, but back to what I was saying earlier. I think it's the Illyrian were modeled after the Vogue to fight them because that's what they were seeing. They were like, we need something to fight this exact thing. And then they shifted on to doing the Peregrine and the Seraphim as like their mock trial of the Malachim. And then once they moved to Lunathion, that's when they started making the Malachim. That's my thought process on
all I
how
know
we
is
got
that I
from
saw
bat wings to angel wings.
you guys know the meme on TikTok that's going around. It's the 2 dudes like laughing, and they overlay it.
Mm-hmm.
It's Lorcan and Fenris laughing when Rowan finds out what they're talking about with Wingspan.
Wingspan.
Because I could see Hunt being in there with his wings too against the boys and just being like, yeah, I got a big one. And then there's Rowan and he's just like, I could turn into a bird.
Okay, but for a bird, his wings are big for his size. Let's go with that. that would be his logic. He's like, well,
Yeah.
for a bird, my wings are huge.
And then just be like,
I could just see
Okay.
Cassian.
Okay.
Cassian's like, okay, bud. Okay, Grandpa, go sit down.
Listen, at this point, the only thing that I care about is I really want to see Cassian with a machine gun. I think he would have a field day.
Okay, but let's talk about that. If all the boys are lined up, I also just saw something. Hunt is only like 220 something years old. So
Yeah, Hunt is the youngest out of the old
Hunt
guys.
and Rowan are around the same age if they were to meet up because Rowan's also like in his 200s.
No, Rowan is older than Hunt is.
I thought he was like 500 something.
Yeah, he's not as old as Reese is, but he is up there. Reese is the oldest.
Like
he's a grandpa.
300. No, yeah, we all know that
grandmother.
Him, Cassian, and Azrael are gonna be like.
Actually, no, just kidding. Azrael is the oldest. It's Azrael, Reese, and then Cassian.
I could just see the bad boys being like, "Don't quote the old text me. We were there when it was written." Like I can see them being like, "Don't." So, God,
man, we didn't even start on the Illyrian stuff.
We really didn't. That really spiraled out of my control.
I'm sorry, we're not touching that. That is like a whole episode in itself. We could do that next. Is there any other theories you want to throw out here, Summer, in these last few minutes?
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I have so many of these. This girl, I favorited like 10 of her theory videos.
If you can find something short and sweet. That's what
okay. You guys need to go to her page. She truly is my favorite new theory person. Oh my god, this one's way too long to get into. Aelin Galathinius created Prythian. She is the mother. A theory. This is what I looked at. I was like, "There's no fucking way. What the hell are you talking about?" And by the end, I was like, "What do you mean?" And it was talking about basically like when she shunted the gods out of the world, and she like forged all of her power and all of Dorian's power into the sealing the lock. Basically, that like all the force of that power like created the cauldron, and like she opened a rift that created Prythian. I don't know, it's
Oh my god.
it sounds fucking insane.
Honestly, though,
you
if there
read
was
the theory.
anybody that would create an entire universe on accident, it would be
It'd be
Aelin.
Aelin. For sure. She'd be like, what the fuck did I do? Listen, all I
That
care
would be why she
all-
would be like, all right, now I have to get involved because I birthed this universe.
all I
It's
care
my
about at this
responsibility.
point,
Damn it.
all I care is that Dorian does the drop. I will say it every fucking episode. Dorian needs to go to Lunathion and he needs to drop so that he can live forever
Period.
and be with Manon. The fuck? I don't care. That's all I care about.
Oh,
It is-
there was one more theory that's like about the Dusk Court, and she thinks that the Dusk Court is actually two halves of a whole. So there's a half in Prythian, and there's a half that is the Avalon Island, and they used to be
in
connected
Midgard.
by a
Yeah.
portal that was by a portal that was open, and it was like one is light, one is dark, and together they made Dusk. Because she was like the Star Sword is in one, the dagger is in the other, and there was lots of parallels.
I really like that theory, and I personally think that the prison used to be where the Dusk Court was, and it would make sense if it was cut in half and the other half is in Midgard, because it's like obviously with like the Daglin theory, he was put in it. When Nesta went down there, she said that she could feel these like people in the walls there at the bottom. What if the Asteri or whoever was there in charge, when they left, they decimated this Dusk Court that was in Prythian and took the rest of them with them to Midgard? And they left the Daglin and they made it a prison.
It's entirely possible.
Did I make sense there?
Yeah.
I feel like I never make sense when I like talk about these things. You
That
also
makes
were just like,
but
I'm
okay,
like,
listen to
nope.
these parallels, right? So
Bad theory.
both the prison island and Avalon Island they're described the same way. We haven't seen Avalon yet, obviously, but both are surrounded by a strange mist. They're both guarded by ancient impenetrable magic. Reese says that the island has wards and spells far older than Prythian, and then in CC it says Cormac is powerful, his household strong. I want you in Avalon because it's a safe hold. Even the Asteri cannot pierce its mist without permission. So old is the magic that guards it. It's the fucking same magic.
Mm-hmm.
And then both islands are heavily involved in the narrative of the Starborn phase. So in the prison island, Regulus confirms Bryce's Starborn bloodline originated from the island, and then an 8-pointed star can be seen on the floor of the prison, which is the symbol of the Starborn. And then in Avalon, that's where Rune found the Star Sword. It's where the statues and coffins of the sleeping Starborn princes can be found. The Avalon Fae are said to have Starborn blood, but instead of starlight, their powers manifest as shadows. And then Bryce's star glows for Cormac, the prince of the Avalon Fae.
We can't forget that the reason why Rune is even Starborn is because his mother is Avalon.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But also, so connecting that to Akasif, we know that Nesta had an 8-point star on her back. Right. And she was able to create the Dread Trove as well. So she has that kind of
but
power.
The 8-point star went away.
Yeah, but it was still there. Like she still had it. So it's still that
there's a connection.
There is a connection there. And then I'm curious because you talk about the tombs. It reminded me of the Southern Continent in Throne of Glass, because obviously like when they went down there and they went on that trip to that lake or whatever, and Irene and I thought it was like, I don't know, they went on that trip where Irene,
to the Oasis.
Yes. Irene and Kale, they went into that old tomb. I'm like wondering, I feel like I need to reread that section Because, like, what if that is described similarly to the old tombs in Midgard? Like, what if that's also a connection between the two? I don't know.
What if?
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I think this is interesting because it says shadow wielders lived on Avalon Island, and they were represented by Truth Teller, which is the knife that glows with a dark black light. And then starlight wielders lived on the prison island, and they're represented by the Star Sword, a sword that glows with a bright white light. Starlight versus shadows, Star Sword versus Truth Teller, light versus dark equals dusk.
And when I think dusk, I do think
drop.
mist. So,
Well,
yeah, interesting.
As you can see, we have a ton to talk about still.
We have once again neglected the Illyrians.
We said in the
I
last
wouldn't
episode we're
say
going to
it's
talk about the
neglect.
Illyrians.
It's just that it's so much information. We need to dedicate a whole episode to it, which we're going to do. So,
which I think is so funny. I want to make a note that Throne of Glass is the longer series, and yet there are way more theories that we have pulled from ACOTAR.
Well,
yeah, because she really started laying the crossover clues down heavy.
She was just like caking that shit on. She's like,
yeah,
ice that cake.
Which is why Tower of Dawn has way more in just itself than the entirety of Throne of Glass does. Anyways,
it's the southern continent. There's so much there.
Make sure to tune back in for the next part. I can't promise that there won't be another part after that. We'll see how it goes.
Real.
But yeah, it's an exciting time. Is all I can say. But anyways, make sure to check us out on our Instagram. We have a TikTok, or you can email us at tvp.staythirsty@gmail.com. And yeah, let us know your thoughts, especially on the theories that Summer has laid out for us.
Those Starfall and the Daglin Bog, I've been spiraling over that. Please let me know what you think in the SJM spoiler chat.
Yeah, you can hit us up in the Discord. Let us know. But yeah, for now, Kiara, will you take us out with an affirmation, please?
I will. Before we go there, Summer, thank you again for being here.
Thanks so much for having me, as always.
We'll all say thank you at one point. We love having you. But today's affirmation is, I am grateful for all I have and all that is to come.
Oh. Cute. Love. I'm grateful for CC3 that is to come.
Yes.
Oh my God, I need it.
It's so close. It's so close. It's so far.
So close.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you everyone else for joining us as well. Make sure to tune in on Tasty Tuesdays and Thirsty Thursdays for all new episodes. Be sure to subscribe and follow our socials. Listen in the description. Make sure you like, rate, and leave a review for the podcast to help boost us across platforms. Have a lovely day, and remember, stay thirsty, bitches.